This is the Milton Keynes Film and Comicon Podcast with Jackie and Troy.
Hello, welcome to the very first episode of the Milton Keynes Film and Comicon Podcast. It's great to be joined by the organisers of the events. We have Troy, hello.
Hi there, Chris.
And Jackie.
Hi Chris.
Brilliant. So it's great to have you here because we're very excited about the event which is taking place very soon on the 12th of July over at the Ridgeway Centre in Wolverton here in Milton Keynes. And you're here with me in the radio station studio with a local radio station for MK called Horizon Radio. And I'm very honoured to be hosting the Comic-Con this year. So I'm excited to find out what's in store. So give me a little overview, a little summary of what's happening.
Okay, so we have got a fantastic day planned and we are really excited that you are joining us as our host, so thank you very much. We have a mixture of trade stands there, we have lots of free entertainment, and we also have so many people dressed up in cosplay costuming groups that are there to greet our guests and welcome everyone and just have a really fun day out.
Because cosplay is a huge part of this, isn't it? And I'm excited to get dressed up. I'm not going to reveal what my costume is just yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Suffice to say, I'm a big TV sci-fi nerd. So if you can kind of work out what that might be. I mean, I should have gone Blake 7. I love Blake 7, but it's going to be something slightly more iconic. But people can get dressed up, people can get involved, and cosplay as their favourite characters, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we started the event 5 years ago, we weren't sure the kind of direction that it would take, but actually we found that cosplaying is a massive part of this particular event that we run. We have lots of people in professional outfits. We have people with outfits that they've made themselves at home, and we have those that have shop bought them as well. So it's a real range, or people just turn up in their favourite
geeky
t-shirts. Exactly.
It's really good to see all the different franchises that everyone's sort of got an affinity with. There's so many different genres that are represented at the show. It's really nice. It's a fantastic community, and it really kind of helps towards the immersion of the event, really, to see so many characters, pop culture characters, kind of wandering around the event. It's really nice. It puts the smiles on all our visitors' faces, and we're really grateful for everyone that does kind of contribute to all of that. It's a fantastic kind of vibe that we have at the show. It's nice.
So this is year 5, and have you noticed the choices of costumes changing over time? And there's such a range, isn't it? Because it's not just comics, it's TV, it's movies, it's all sorts of. It's anime as well.
100%. And it's interesting you say anime at the end there. That seems to have blown up huge, particularly of recent years. It's awesome to see these such elaborate costumes. The time and effort that the visitors put into creating such costumes is so sort of really nice to see their passion come through. But yeah, there's always going to be Star Wars. There's always going to be Marvel and DC. But yeah, with all the genres, there's so many different genres that are represented at the show, which is great to see.
So back to the show. Obviously, we talked about the cosplay. What's actually going to be there? There's going to be lots of stalls, entertainment.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to go through the types of stall holders that we have.
Oh yeah, so the merch, the merchandise that's there. There's Funko Pops, there's comics, collectibles, a lot of crafts, artists, a lot of 3D printed items this year, which is more of an addition actually. That seems to have become quite popular.
Is that something that you can do yourself if you get a 3D printer? You can kind of get the blueprints for what you want to recreate.
Exactly right. Yeah, we in the past, I don't know that we've had many come to the show, but we've got a couple of tables that are doing it this time round, and it's exactly as you say. I think these are kind of possibly self-employed, but they've got their own 3D printers, and yeah, exactly that. They've been printing off pop culture items that they'll be bringing to the show. It's
a whole different kind of element to it, isn't it? Because you can literally print anything with a 3D printer. You could make like full-size Dalek, couldn't you, with all the bits?
And some of the artwork when they paint their products as well is fantastic. It's really nice to see that's, like as you say, it's another avenue that's sort of blown up recently. And as you say, as far as I know, there's not a lot that you can't print figure wise. So yeah, excited to see some of those items. But yeah, lots of artwork. We've always been kind of proud at the amount of the variety that we've been able to kind of offer at the show with the different traders that come.
Yeah, we cap it so that we don't have too many of the same type, because otherwise it just makes it boring for visitors. We want it to be, and too competitive as well. So we like to kind of keep the variety there. And as well as the traders that we have there, we have a schedule of events taking place on our stage.
Yeah, this is what I'm really excited about, because I'm going to be hosting the stage and introducing all of these incredible bits of entertainment. So what's going to be coming up?
Yeah, so we are really excited. So we have some wrestling from Top Rope Wrestling Academy, and they're going to be doing a couple of sessions for us. We've also got a theatre production from the Pauline Quirk Academy, based in Milton Keynes. So we're really excited to see what they're going to be doing for us.
And it's going to be something along the themes of the events. So
Yes.
something kind of sci-fi maybe.
Yeah, possibly. It's at the moment it's we're keeping it under wraps until we have it all confirmed. But it's sounding very exciting from what they've told us so far.
Okay.
So we're going to look at that, and they've also produced a superhero movie that we want to play in the background, which is really fun because it's children around sort of 6 to 14, I think it is, that have filmed and produced this film, and will also be the same sort of age group that will be doing the performance on stage. So we're really excited to welcome them for the first time to our event.
It's a great display of the local talent in MK. So yeah, we're really happy that they're able to attend.
Because of course we have a proud tradition of superhero films in Milton Keynes, because one of the original Christopher Reeve movies was filmed here in MK.
That's right.
Famously,
that's right.
probably the worst of his work, but he was there by the train station.
Yeah. Very popular scene, and I think it's all the locals will know. All the locals will know the scene that you're talking about. But it's awesome to kind of have such a huge superhero put MK on the map in that regard.
Although they said it was New York or the United Nations or something, didn't they, in the movie? So he didn't say he'd landed in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the point was mentioned.
No, maybe not.
the MK train station. But as a lot of people know, was it Quest for Peace?
Yeah, Superman 4. So it was a terrible movie, but it was filmed in Milton Keynes.
Yeah. We'll take it, Chris. We'll take
We'll take that.
And we've also got something that we call the cosplay dance-off, which just when we developed it, it was just a small idea that we had that has blown up and is so funny and so much fun to watch. So it is literally that our professional cosplaying groups that we work with, we invite a handful of them up to do a dance-off, usually with Troy on the stage. And,
I always, when I think when we first thought about it, my mind didn't go any further than I always liked the idea of seeing Darth Vader doing a dance next to Judge Dredd. Next to the Joker, and that stuck in my mind for a little while, and just very thankful that it seems to have hit really well with our audience, because I think it's one of the things that people have always sort of been entertained by, is seeing exactly that. I mean,
it's just so much fun. Darth Vader doing the Macarena and a Stormtrooper doing the Running Man.
Absolutely, and last year, actually, we managed to get some of the cosplay, our visitors, on stage as well, and it really kind of helped with that sort of segment of the show. It seems to have developed even from our first kind of prototype. But it's that's a great. I always have a lot of fun with that section,
because I think that's what it's all about. It's just about having fun, and when you're in a costume, you want to do something, and giving people an opportunity to perform. It's so easy. Everybody can dance.
Absolutely, and I think it really. I mean, the vibe there. Right? I really love the cosplaying community and how kind of a lot of people maybe come out of their shells a little bit more, and it gives them the opportunity to not only show their crafting abilities, but also where people might be a little bit more introverted and perhaps a little bit shyer, this show kind of gives them that platform to really kind of come out of themselves and be a character that they have a lot of admiration for, or they just get a chance to see to be a different side of themselves. It's really sort of wonderful to watch. Because
it's a very welcoming atmosphere, and it's very much a community event, so it's welcoming everybody, even people that maybe are putting on a costume for the first time. And is that one of the things that makes it different from some of the cons that have come back?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, that's the feedback we've been getting. I mean, organically, again, we never, as Jackie said at the beginning of the podcast, we didn't know what direction it was going to go in, and we're very, very proud that there seems to have been a real affinity with cosplayers, particularly coming to the show. It sort of emphasises just how many people there are out there that have got enough passion for the franchise that they're interested in, that they will go to that sort of effort to create such elaborate and fantastical costumes, and to the pride that they have when they display them at a show like ours. It's really nice. You find out who else is kind of in your, as a fan of the thing that you're a fan of. It's a real opportunity for people to meet up, and even existing cosplay groups, not necessarily professional costuming groups, but there's a lot of the younger crowd that just have a cosplay meet and kind of get a chance to show each other where they are with their costumes, and just kind of talk about the different techniques. It's really nice, really, really great atmosphere.
It must be great if you go to an event like this and you think, I'm going to be the only one wearing this costume, and then you across the room you just see somebody else, and you're just like, we're destined to be friends.
Exactly. I'd like to think that underneath the masks their eyes are lighting up, and then all of a sudden you get to kind of geek out with someone at the show that you didn't necessarily know you were going to, and those the kindred spirit stuff I think really comes alive. It's this again, it's this community that wouldn't necessarily be like this outside of a con necessarily, but it's again the vibe that creates is really nice.
And to try and kind of embrace that a bit more, we have a buddy meetup. It's fairly informal, but we do have an area where we say on the hour, every hour, if you want to meet like-minded people, come along to this particular point at the show, and you can geek out or make a friend, because we do find people come on their own, and that's fine, and that's great. It's great that people have want to attend that much, that they will come on their own and try and meet new people that have got the same passion as them. And then obviously, of course, those that don't want to cosplay or dress up, they come into a sea of people that are dressed up and get to have the most amazing photo opportunities with props and with people in costume. And it's really exciting. It's a real buzz.
Because everyone loves having their picture taken when they're dressed up, don't they? So you should never feel embarrassed to go up and say, oh my God, I love your character. Can we get a selfie together? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's part of it, is that if you're dressed up, you are going to be asked for a photo, and that is, you're obviously able to say no, but I think most people love it.
It's flattering,
isn't it? It makes you feel,
Yeah.
I was dressed as Cinderella recently up at Cineworld, and I had forgotten sometimes that I was in my outfit, and people are like looking at me. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm in character mode now. So
you're just having a tray of nachos, just mind your own business.
Children waving at me. I'm like, hi. Oh, I'm Cinderella, right? Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's I love that. It's just you see their faces light up, and it's just amazing.
Was everyone like, oh, it's nearly midnight, watch out, Cinders?
Yeah, I kept asking them if they'd seen My Ugly Sisters, because I wasn't supposed to be there, and they thought it was hilarious.
What's really nice as well, actually, is that not only is the cosplay community is quite strong, everyone loves a geeky t-shirt, and I think it's not, obviously, it's not just about dressing up in a big outfit that you spend a lot of time on. Just even if someone's wearing a t-shirt with something that they're a fan of, you tend to find out they're a fan of that, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of a connection there as well. But it's, I say, the cosplaying community is really well represented, but so is the very casual fan as well. I think people very, very quickly realise just how many different franchises they're into when they attend a show like this. It's like, oh wow, I was into that as a kid. I didn't realise that so many people would dress up as that, and this, that and the other. So it all comes out, I think. Everyone's everyone's kind of passion for film, all things pop culture, kind of comes out at a show like a Comic-Con, which is great to watch.
And I think what's really important as well is that you two organising this, you're a local business, but you're passionate about this stuff as well. So you're coming to this from kind of a fan's perspective.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'd like to think I'm as geeky as the next person, Chris. But but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Star Wars has always been kind of my genre, and I'm obsessed with Lego and and all this sort of stuff.
Did you have a Millennium Falcon when you were growing up?
Oh goodness, don't talk about Millennium Falcons.
Just when he was growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, still.
It's not like I've displayed it in my garage anywhere and have tried to restore it to its original form or anything like that. But yeah, no, it's again having a bit of a following of the different movies and TVs, all things again pop culture coming out. Yeah, having that passion to begin with really, I hope, is reflected in the show. And again, the feedback from the visitors and the traders that we've had, kind of that's what's been implied, and we're really kind of glad that that's sort of happened for us, and that people can see the passion being represented, I guess, at our show.
And actually, we're also married, as you know, Chris, but
listeners might not.
And we started our honeymoon at the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. I think the date of our wedding was kind of not necessarily dictated to, but I think the San Diego Comic-Con featured in some of the arrangements. So yeah, we that's the first time, well, the only time. It was a massive dream of mine to go to the San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow.
For a honeymoon, I'm very, very lucky to have a partner that was okay with that. But we both got the love for the different genres, and it was fantastic.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It really was.
Well, as well as doing radio, I do wedding discos, and I did a Star Wars themed wedding disco on May the 4th, which was great because it's got to be done, hasn't it?
Yeah,
quite right. Yeah. I had to make a decision whether or not we wanted to get. I could convince Jackie for us to get married on May the 4th, but no, that was. I think that date was probably booked up by another Star Wars fan.
Yeah, it was booked up. So, kind of rewinding to the very beginning of this event. At the time that you did the first one, there wasn't really anything else happening at that point in this local area, was there?
No. So, I was already self-employed, running an events company, and Troy we just had our child, and Troy was joining us, and I said, wait, let's think of an event that we would love to do. And straight away it was a Comic-Con, and we were talking about how there used to be one in Milton Keynes, but there hadn't been one for some time, and actually we missed going to something that was local and easy to go to, especially with our now newborn. And so we said, well, hang on a minute, we can do our own. We've got those skills and experience to create a fantastic event, and it's just grown since then. We had it at the Milton Keynes Theatre the first year, and then we've moved it to the Ridgeway since, and we take over the whole conference centre inside and outside, and just created this wonderful environment. So it's great fun for us, isn't it, to do?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a job when you enjoy it.
No, and I think that's the main thing. And you're creating the event that you would want to go to because you're fans yourselves. So you go along and you're like, oh, this is brilliant. Yeah. Well, of course it is. It's my idea.
Well, yeah, we kind of there's so many ideas that we want to put into our event, and luckily, we've been able to produce some of those, and hopefully offer something different to other cons that are kind of out there. But also at the same time, we're kind of I don't know, hopefully we've been able to spark a new interest in MK, because with the other similar events that are around, it's nice to know that there is so much on offer for the visitors, local visitors, local to the area, and so that's a nice element as well. Yeah,
it's like a really good community feel to it. So, although visitors come from other areas, it is mostly Milton Keynes that people are coming from, and it's got a really fantastic community feel we keep the pricing as low as we possibly can. And we, for ourselves, when we go out with our daughter to somewhere that we want to go to, but not necessarily something she's interested in, it's really tricky to have to pay for her as well. I know that sounds awful, but when you've got to pay for 3 people, it starts adding up.
We want to be mindful of kind of maybe
people's budgets.
Make it sort of because there are obviously different budgets out there, particularly for sort of young families. You kind of do want to bear those different demographics in mind and make it accessible for as many people as we can.
Yeah, so we have like children 10 years and younger attending for free. Ticket prices all day for those over 10 are £8, which is still, I think, low in. It's still cheaper than Cosplay. But then we have staggered entry as well. So if you can come later in the afternoon, tickets go down to just £4 per person, so that it makes it just really affordable, and it's still a fantastic event, but we try and balance it out with the price as well to keep that community spirit going and sort of making people see it's a passion. It's built from passion. It's not about money. It's about the passion that goes into it.
And those ticket prices are just, I guess, paying for the cost of the venue and just putting the event on, which, there's going to be costs, but you're not there to make huge profits out of this and rip people off. And it's not one of those events where you're going to be queuing up for 2 hours to get a 10-second photo with somebody and then paying a small fortune for the privilege.
Absolutely, and that's not what we wanted to create. So
I think there's a space for those events already. I mean, there's a lot of diehard fans that would go, and the autograph hunters and that sort of demographic. And we wanted to be able to offer a slightly different feel of Comic-Con, because I think there's space for all of them, really. And I think that's what's really nice about the different cons that there are available, is that there's so much variety. There's these guys that might be trader heavy, or these guys that might be celebrity heavy, and hopefully we're a little bit entertainment and immersion heavy. So I think it's nice that there's as much option out there for as many fans of these franchises.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously the entertainment's a big part of that. What other stuff have you got going on? Who else is involved with the event that people can look out for?
So we have got Brick Fair, who are another local company. We've been working quite closely with them, and they are hosting some brick play fun, which is incredible. If you've never had a chance, they do these like little dot bricks and create artwork really, from it. They give you a plan to follow, and you make it while you're at the event, and then you have the opportunity either to leave it and it's free, or you can buy, I think it used to be about £4, and you would take it away with you. So again, low cost, but it's like you can do it there, and you don't have to pay. It's just part of our event. So
they like little Lego bricks, or they're a bit smaller than that?
So they're not bricks, they're dots, but they still, so they're circular, and they still clip down like Lego does, but it creates beautiful mosaics or artwork of whatever picture you've chosen, and you just follow it. So it will say, green one there, and you just follow it. You can
follow basic instructions. It should look like what it's supposed to.
And it looks amazing. Like some of their
final
artwork
product,
the final
product is always really, really good.
And they draw it themselves and create it themselves, so they create the templates themselves.
Wow.
And so that's really good fun. They've also got some carnival type games that they're putting out, and some video gaming.
Video gaming stations as well.
Yeah, and that's all free for people to kind of join in with. We have got a 360 video photo booth from Starfish Selfies who are attending. We have got a caricature,
which is going to look amazing if you're doing cosplay, to get that kind of moving 360 degree 100%, video.
100%, I think again, going back to how proud a lot of the guys are that produce the costumes. Of course, you want to come to the show and kind of show it off and display it, and to have it captured on a 360 platform would be awesome.
It's good fun. They do poses and things, it kind of adds to it. We have got a caricaturist who is going to be doing, again, some free artwork for people, drawing people. He came last year, and it was just, the vibe there was fantastic.
That's brilliant that's free, because you'd normally, give him a little tip, I guess, when he's done a nice picture. But
yeah, absolutely. It's all things that we have we're relying on a lot of goodwill from people to add to our event, and again, to try and keep that cost low so that people can spend their money with the traders, because that's where we want people to focus their budget, but equally have a fantastic day out at the same time.
Yeah, because I think that's important, that there needs to be stuff to entertain you once you've been around all of the traders, because you don't want to spend your whole day shopping. No. You want something where you can sit down and relax. And is there going to be food and drink available and things like that?
Yeah, so we've got food vans, we've got ice cream van, coffee van, sweet treats, donuts.
Yeah.
So we've got lots going on outside, and actually we say to people, bring a picnic if you want to. Again, you don't have to spend the money; it's there and available. But if you want to bring a picnic and sit out on the grass, hopefully the weather will be nice.
Again, that's something that's kind of organically sort of growing. The grass there outside tends to be a lovely communal place for people to just relax, and then they kind of come into the show and see all the bits and bobs, and then they hang outside with their friends or just in the good weather, and then they come back in for a second view. It's kind of like staying. The fact that people stay for the whole day is really nice.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to be able to get some fresh air, especially if it's nice weather like it has been so far this summer.
Yeah, I don't really want to. Thanks for jinxing that, by the way, Chris. But no, it's been wonderful. The last few years, we've been very lucky, and hopefully, may the heat wave continue.
Although, if you're in costume, you want it to not be too hot.
There is that balance. There's been a couple of times where some of our costuming groups, particularly anyone that's been in one of the
one of our Wookiees,
in one of the furrier costumes, for example, have certainly felt the temperature. There's such good sports. The costuming groups are fantastic. The work that they do for all the events that they go to, I can't thank those guys enough for what they do. They give up their time.
They put sweat and tears into it, literally.
Sweat and literal tears into
sweaty footprints going around the room.
And so for them to do that, from the kindness of their heart and collecting for the charities that they do, is such a great effort from them. So very appreciative of them, all of them that come. And
you've got a couple of local charities that are involved as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so we have got Will and Hospice that will be attending, selling bits, aren't they?
Yeah,
merchandise.
The pop culture merchandise that gets donated to their stores. They're bringing them along. They came last year. We'd like to support Will and.
Yeah, we do quite a lot of work with Will and try and support them as much as we can. So that's fantastic. But we've also got some other. The list of entertainment actually is quite crazy when I'm looking at it now. I kind of think this is such a fun day, and we'll be working, so we don't actually get to experience it quite as much.
It's really tough, Chris, because we're huge fans of Comic-Cons from way before we had our daughter, for example. We don't get as much of a chance to visit them these days, but it's really difficult to almost put on a show and not be able to necessarily enjoy it as a fan, because we're organisers.
Yeah.
We're trying to make everything. We've got our business heads on, and all I really want to do is just geek out with everyone and take and kind of spend a small fortune everywhere. But of course we do need our organisers head on. But just hopefully we might put into the schedule this time round that maybe a bit of a 30-minute downtime where I can just be a fan for 30 minutes.
You need to wear some cosplay with like you've dressed up as Ghostface recently, so I'm wondering if you should go around with that so you get your break and not
have to.
Although you'll be stopped for photos, so
but to be honest, it's difficult not to. I mean, I want to, I try to go around the traders where we can, and it's difficult not to get into. You kind of want to talk about their experience and talking about it from a business point of view, but honestly, I just like to get an idea of what anyone's watching on Netflix or what anyone's watching, just what their general interest, because it's quite nice to get their personality across and that sort of stuff. I don't know, I just like going to these things just to geek out.
But you're right, there's so many new shows appearing on these streaming platforms, and just having somebody to say, have you seen this new one? This is really good.
Honestly, a lot of the recommendations, they come from, there's X amount of shows that you're aware of, and some people's fingers on the pulse with a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of, off-piste shows that I would never really know a lot about, and it's great to get people's sort of take on, if you like that, then try this.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
those
sort of
little
stuff.
ones that come under the radar and then just suddenly blow up huge, like Squid Game, that like must have started out as this quite obscure thing that was just hidden away somewhere on Netflix.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's great that they get the advertisement that they do, that Netflix do promote such shows, particularly kind of the foreign made ones. But to get something that isn't necessarily a very popular, well-known commercial success, it's nice to get some more original stuff out there that again, you wouldn't necessarily know a great deal about, but turn into these absolute gem of a shows. So to just even speak with the traders as not just a business person. They're a person. They're not just someone that's come to the show and they're just a customer. I really enjoy speaking to, seeing what people's passions are, really, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a few kind of, I wouldn't say it's the celebrities, the mayor is coming, isn't he?
Yes.
Big name.
Yes,
in Milton Keynes.
And just reiterates, our community spirit behind all of this. And so we're really grateful that he's able to give up some time to come and visit it.
Yeah, and he's going to be cosplaying as a mayor.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Superman.
I imagine, wouldn't that be brilliant if he just had his mayoral chain around a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We might have to maybe even just like one of those masks, one of those small masks that go across the eyes, kind of thing, and that would be his alter ego at the show.
Just get a little rubber mask and just give it to him as he comes in.
Yeah.
And see if he wears it.
And then when he takes it off, he's like, it was
the mayor all along.
It was the Councillor Lancaster all along. But excited to be having him turn up at the show.
To come and see it.
Yeah.
And we've introduced this year every year we try and think of, we've got a lot of new things this year, but we are always trying to think of new things to see how they work. So this time we've introduced a have a go at prop making workshop.
Oh, that's exciting. So what kind of props could you make?
So it's work in progress, but we are looking at potentially like just out of cardboard, so it's nice and easy. But swords or shields or crown, that kind of thing. So we'll have an area upstairs where people can go and do that.
And that would be great for the kids as well, because my little boy just loves swords, and they don't last long because he just has a habit of snapping them by trying to impale some brick wall with it, and then it's
exactly
100%. Well, it's a great opportunity for them to get sort of crafty, but also expose more, I guess, the younger kids, just how easy it is to kind of get into at least the beginnings of prop making or costume making. And hopefully, it kind of develops that skill. It'll be great if it sort of, I don't know, lighten something inside them to kind of, do you remember when I made that at that show? And it goes on to creating something more elaborate as they're older.
Because that's so cute when kids have made their own costumes and they come along. But
it really is.
So what I was going to ask you about is, if this is your first time coming to one of these kind of events in a costume and you've not done it before, you're very much a beginner, you feel maybe slightly shy or intimidated because you're thinking, there's going to be people here in really expensive screen replica incredible costumes, and I'm here with my homemade costume. Should you feel embarrassed about that, or is it okay for you to wear whatever you feel comfortable in?
Absolutely fine to feel okay.
That's the answer I was hoping for.
Yeah.
No, if you look rubbish, you're not welcome.
And actually, it's such a supportive community that if you see someone that is tried to make their own outfit, I bet they will get more compliments than those. It
gets massively recognised, and again, we weren't really that sort of up on the whole community until we started putting these cons on. But there's such, as you say, such a supportive group, and they really recognise everyone's sort of the effort that goes into doing anything to do with the costume, really.
We have a cosplay competition as well, don't we, to kind of coincide with that. And again, anybody that's had a go at either shop bought but putting it together really well, or have had a go at making it themselves, we encourage them to enter the cosplay competition because we want to see it. And the beauty for them is if it's something that they're really keen on getting into more, there are so many people there in that room that can give them tips and guidance on how to take that forward, where to get materials from, what should they do next, where can they find patterns, for instance. So it's perfect opportunity for anyone that is at the start of that kind of cosplaying journey as well.
So if you are coming along for the first time in a costume, where do you start? How do you decide what to wear even?
I think it should stem from passion. So what you're interested in the most, and it doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be very easy. It could just be something that they've bought online to feel comfortable in, and then they might add to it and accessorize it and start building upon that outfit, and then they might sort of think to themselves, I can now change this up a little bit and do a slightly different character, or it might just be accessorizing shoes to jewelry to anything really.
Yeah, I mean,
someone's making a wig at the moment that they shared with us on social media, which it's incredible. She's making it with wool. I can't wait to see it.
I was going to say, how do you make a wig? Is she like raiding the hairdressers?
Yeah, she's doing it with wool. It's incredible.
Yeah,
and
we've seen the start of it. It's very, very skillful to kind of put that sort of stuff in. But echoing what Jacqueline said at the beginning there, it comes from passion. Whatever it is that you're comfortable wearing, that's always where it comes from, because that's the main thing really, is that you're wearing something that you've got an affinity for. I think that really shows if you enjoy that particular franchise. But absolutely all levels, and we've seen all levels. It's so nice to see the different kind of skill sets that people have got, or just their passion coming across in the outfit that they choose, or all of it. And to be in one kind of venue with that many sort of references, that many characters, it's quite something else. It really is.
Here's a good question. What's the most popular costume? Do you have millions of Spider-Man or Superman?
Last year was fantastic because there were 3 really good Spider-Men that ended up mimicking that meme, that where they're pointing at each other, that Spider-Man meme, which is hilarious.
And Deadpool.
Deadpool seems to be was a very popular one last year. But
we don't get loads of the same, do we? It's not like we turn up and there's 20 of them all the same.
It tends to be
so interesting.
Yeah, it tends to be a lot of characters, possibly from the same franchise. So you might get a bunch of DC DC, Marvel, or Star Wars characters, but you don't get a lot, as you say, of the same character, which is really nice to see that there's different sort of niche areas of each franchise that people are interested in. I think one of my favourites last year was one of our costuming group members, Central Legion. One of them came as Spider-Man Noir, which was that was awesome.
That's very specific.
It's so specific, and honestly, that one, because we've not had one of those before, and it was one of the ones that I was very tempted to come as one year. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, that's exactly why I wanted to do that. And it wasn't. I complimented him on it when I saw it, and he goes, Troy, it's me, Mel, from Central Legion, the costuming group. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. My literal hat off to you. But
because that's the thing, isn't it? You can come as a character, but then which version of that character are you going to be?
All of that stuff. There's so many variations of exactly what you just said, and to see, again, it's really interesting to get to see where there would be, and even Spider-Man itself. The first time we saw the Miles Morales version, the recent animated Spider-Man movies, to see that one, the Spider-Verse ones. Obviously, it's such an iconic character, Spider-Man. So, the first time that variation came out, and then you start getting Spider-Gwen coming, and then as I say, Spider-Man. Well, it's all the
and I guess for the kids, they've got the Spidey series as well, so they can come as those characters with a giant head.
Yeah, exactly. And those little sort of offshoot niche versions, it's always great to see, because every now and again you get like a knowing nod. I know that's a good one, because there's not a lot of people that are necessarily very aware of that costume. So again, it's all comes out of the passion really comes out.
There was one last year that turned everybody's heads that we weren't expecting at all, because they weren't one of the cosplaying groups, were they? It was the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, there was 2 that came, and
they had
They
a baby.
Yeah, they had a baby a character ape as well. But those two,
was it a real baby that they dressed up?
Yeah, I know.
No, but it did move, so you never know. Yeah.
That was fantastic. That turned a lot of heads. They were like real kind of movie accurate, and I think again, it's not like Planet of the Apes is particularly well represented at the cons that we've gone to. So every now and again, you do get a costume. It's like, quality. That's really good. So
it's interesting because it's been a few years since the more modern movies of Planet of the Apes, and I guess if you trace it back, it was a comic book originally, wasn't it? I think, and then
Planet of the Apes.
I think
is
so.
That right?
Or did the film come first?
I don't know. I mean, I was just always aware of the original movies from the 70s. I think they were. They started out in the 70s, but whether or not they came from a book or
I thought they did, but maybe that came. It might have come afterwards.
Oh, possibly. I mean,
I think I might be remembering an annual that I had as a
kid. There blatantly would have been an annual. I'm sure that existed of Planet of the Apes, of course. But yeah, to kind of see that. I mean, it's not like it's a really obscure reference or anything like that, but where people might be more inclined to go with the more popular Marvel, DC, Star Wars kind of outfits. It's nice to see some of the older movies also represented, and again, it's such a talking point.
And I guess the sky's the limit really with what you want to come as. 100%. So you can go back to any old school cartoons like Scooby-Doo. I guess some people will come as that.
100%. Yeah, we've had the
Scooby-Doo characters.
Yeah, we've had the Mystery Van Gang and
Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine. And I think
we had Princess Peach and some Mario characters.
Yeah, so you say again, it's not just movie, TV. It's
so it
gaming.
Could be like gaming as well.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
We've had Minecraft.
We've had Minecraft. Yeah. I came as Mario one year. And Luigi. I had Luigi with me as well, and we were playing some drums and guitar, and that again, it's that sort of stuff that kind of. It's the crossover to see that. I don't know. It's not every day that you kind of see a character you recognise doing something like that. So it's hopefully it's
playing drums on stage. That's why you wanted to do it just as Mario. That's right. Lifelong dream, right?
And I think actually we had a Ghostbuster on the mic doing vocals. So to get the crossovers, it's always fun to watch.
We've also got something we've introduced in this year, which is a draw yourself as a comic book character, with Marvel and Star Wars artist Katie Bass. So that's going to be quite fun for people to join in.
Yeah, that's going to be so interesting, just learning how they create those iconic images in the comic books.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's a lot of people out there that it's a great place for them to see where their artistic skills are and hopefully develop their own skills with Katie's guidance. So yeah, we're looking forward to putting that workshop on.
And then for Star Wars fans, we have got from Saber Guild, we've got lightsaber training. Essentially.
Oh, I'm so excited about this!
Yeah, it's really good fun, and actually we've watched it loads of times, but me and Troy had never had a go until last year, and last year they literally marched over to us because they see that we're busy and we're in the middle of stuff, and in the end they said, you're not, we know you want to do this, you never find time for it, so we are taking you. And they literally dragged us up onto stage and we did a choreograph. Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, it was so good.
There's a quite you feel quite empowered when you hold one of those lightsabers and start. It's very difficult not to make the sound as you're swinging it around, which I challenge anyone not to go as they're swinging. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We've been meaning to do that for such a long time. I think they do great work, Saber Guild, the Naboo Guild, Naboo Temple faction. So yeah, we're really grateful for them for them coming and once again offering the lightsaber tutorials for our visitors.
So they basically show you how to properly move the lightsaber around as
weapon.
They would do, as a Jedi actually would do.
100%, yeah. All of the different kind of the attacking and blocking moves and all the kind of I guess the different poses as well after as well. But yeah, essentially
that's so interesting. So when you analyse the films, is there a particular fighting style that you can identify that's consistent
They've
across?
said before that the Jedi style versus the Sith style, that there is something there is something to that. So and also not just the lightsabers, the force movement where you kind of put your hand out and try and force push your enemy away, all of that sort of stuff, which Jackie and I did last year.
Did it work?
I might have become a little bit too immersed in it, and I might have sort of, I don't know, done something to my ankle. I think I was too captured.
You did that, or did I do that?
Yeah. I'd like to think that was me, but yeah, maybe she does have the force.
Feeling the force.
Yeah, the force move is great when you're in a supermarket with the automatic doors. And you just,
or elevators, I find. Although that can confuse the people coming out of the elevator when they just see a random Star Wars fan waving a hand around. Yeah, it's again, I challenge anyone not to do that at some stage. Any Star Wars fan not to do that at some stage. But
yeah, it's great. There's no need to grow up with this sort of thing. You can still be as childish as you want.
Quite right.
The workshops are really popular though, so anything that people are really keen on, as soon as they get there, they need to get their name down so they don't miss out, because it's only so much time.
So you can't sign up in advance, you just got to get there on the day.
Yeah, get there on the
through
day.
the door. Is there a bit of a queue when you open the doors?
To begin with, there is, because we have to scan tickets, but we stagger entry, as I mentioned earlier, so that we try and have it so it's not too long for people, and we have a team of people getting people in. So it is, although sometimes the queue looks long, it's usually like 10 minutes and most people are in. So it's just managing flow and safety, because I mean, we've been to cons where you're shoulder to shoulder and it's not fun because you can't get to the trader table, you can't look, and you just want to find the exit and then come back again a bit later on. So we do encourage people to come in the afternoons where possible. But if they've come in the morning, then great, and we just manage that flow effectively inside to make sure it's not too overwhelming for everybody.
And of course, if you want to see everything and put your name down for things like the lightsaber
Absolutely.
training, then you need to get there early doors.
Yeah, and get your name down. So they're upstairs this year, aren't they, in a side room that we've got available specifically for them.
Because it's a great location, the Ridgeway Centre, because you've got that huge space for like the main auditorium, and then upstairs areas and breakout rooms and stuff, and all of the outside area. So it's an ideal location for this kind of thing. Yeah,
absolutely. And we take over the whole centre, so there's no one from the outside world, as it were,
there's no normal
like
people
watching
there.
it's just people that are engrossed in the Film and Comic Con, because it's essentially on the industrial estate, so there's loads of parking as well, which really helps. It just helps to add to that kind of immersion feel. There's nothing else going on around you, unless you need to pop across the road to the cash machine. Then you might get a few looks if you're walking across into Wolverton. So
I think the poor citizens of Wolverton must just wonder what's been going on that day.
I think there was one year, it was last year, we had some community, were they police officers, or I think they might have been
community police officers that came in, and we were like, oh, is everything okay? And they were like, yeah, we just really like Comic-Con, so we wanted to come in. We're like, welcome.
We saw a Deadpool coming, we wanted to see what was going on.
One year we actually had a fire alarm go off, and it was from a popcorn machine we had, but obviously we had to wait for the fire brigade to turn up.
It was right at opening as well,
just
as we were opening.
But everyone was fantastic, weren't they? It was fine. It was absolutely fine. But of course, all these firemen turn up, and people aren't sure if they're like cosplayers or like. And I'm like, no, they're really the fire brigade. There's not a fire, but they're really
It's a genuine alarm that's gone off.
But they've put a real effort in. They've got the fire engine and everything, the hoses.
But they loved it as well, and there was a few of them that said to us, "Can we get some photos with some of these groups?" And we're like, "Yeah, absolutely." Aww. Like, come along, and we've got photos of them with like the Star Wars characters, and so it's. It's you never know.
It was an event organiser's nightmare, but we were so kind of grateful for the different costuming groups that they were entertaining the crowd for the extra time that they had to wait outside, and it was just, I don't know, it was just still we were running around like headless chickens, but from what I understand, there was the community. It was a real sort of,
and we kept the communication up, and I think that's what's important, because when things like that happen, if no one's told what's going on, it's really frustrating. They're just queuing. So we just continuously, we will get you in as soon as possible. But I mean, it just adds to it as well, because like the cosplay groups, like you say, we're going around and entertaining, taking photos, we were talking to people about their cosplay or their t-shirt that they might have been wearing, saying, "Oh, do you like this?" And it was fine, but it was just it's just funny when I
wouldn't want to do it again,
no,
but I think it
maybe not, but and we've what else have we got there? We've got a magician that's going to be walking around doing
roaming street magic magician.
Who's
That's
excellent.
Cool.
So people should look out for him.
Is he going to do sort of sci-fi themed magic, or just kind of?
Not sure at the minute. Hopefully he's quite into it and things, and we're due to meet with him soon, so we'll have a chat further about
Doctor Strange type illusions.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
This could be a bit dangerous. He starts opening portals all over.
Starts talking to you over here.
That's
and
quite
the
magic act.
That'd be impressive.
And we've also got some tabletop escape room games from Top Table Escapes, which again is all going to be free for people to have a go. There'll be like, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes quizzes to do.
Puzzle type game. I think Matt's mentioned about they're going to be themed as well. They're going to be Marvel themed, possibly. But
because that's a whole different angle as well, isn't it? With escape rooms and kind of puzzle solving. It's kind of all these different sort of spin-offs.
That's right. I mean, I think that anyone that's a fan of pop culture would possibly be a fan of not only the themed puzzle, but puzzles themselves, kind of thing. It's just another interactive kind of hopefully immersive activity that we wanted to put on for the show. We've not had them in the past, and hopefully it'll hit well. And we do, where possible, like to keep adding and putting some new activities into the show, just to keep us on our feet, but also give something new. Make it something new for visitors. We want to keep doing the things that are doing well, but also change up things so that there's something new and hopefully exciting for people to visit each time they come.
And of course, I guess you're very much open to ideas and suggestions from the community, so people can say, "Oh, why don't you do this at the next event?" or "We really love this and try doing this differently."
Yeah, absolutely. We are always open, and we have quite a big team with us who often feed back and sort of say, "Oh, we could do that, we could do that."
Yeah, we've heard from quite a few visitors this, that, and the other, and we always want to hear it. It's all the constructive criticism that we take on board. We want to welcome all the feedback, because we want to be able to keep the things that we're doing well and improve on the things that we aren't doing so well, and we want to be able to stay relevant where we can and find out what's popular amongst people at the time that we're doing the show. So again, hopefully that is reflected in what we put on.
But in all honesty, we don't get any events can get criticism, without a doubt, but we never find anyone criticising. We get so many emails and YouTube. We find YouTube videos. Even now, I'll pop in Comic-Con 2024 and there'll be a YouTube video I haven't seen that someone's taken from it, and they are so positive, and it's so humbling. And why we keep doing it, because really as a business we really shouldn't do it, but because we love it, and because this community feel is there, and then we get all these lovely comments and feedback that we haven't even asked for that just get thrown at us. It feels fantastic, and it really is it is very a family fun day out. You don't even have to be that geeky to come and enjoy it, because we've got all these other little elements that happen. Obviously you need to have some sort of interest in film and movies, but it might be as simple
to really
as
get as much
you've
out
watched
of it.
Stitch recently and really enjoyed it and come along, because I suspect there'll be lots of Stitch related products to buy. But
even casual fans though, I think they'll turn up and realise, oh yeah, that was a thing. Oh, I watched that as a kid, or yeah, I didn't realise it. I think the inner geek does come out in a lot of people. The inner and outer geek, but there's a lot of it hopefully resonates with a lot of different levels of fandom, I guess.
Yeah, I think you've got wider pop culture, and I think there's certain things that everybody would recognise as Star Wars character or Doctor Who's TARDIS or something, and then it's just you've got different levels of geekiness. Definitely,
yeah. I'm really. It's really nice that it's not quite as exclusive as it maybe once was many years ago, where a certain demographic knew these characters. They're so widely known and really popular these days, and it's great that so many people are on board with the different franchises that exist. There's a reason it's called popular culture. It's as popular as it is now these days. So yeah, it's really, really good.
So you mentioned the feedback and the fact that there's Facebook groups and kind of social media places where fans of the Comic-Cons hang out and kind of get together. And do you find that people can join those and start creating those connections and that sense of community before and after the event?
So we try and encourage it all on our social media pages, so we can keep an eye on it, essentially, but also to be part of it and comment on it. And that's where we find most of the feedback comes from. And then, as I say, then on YouTube, where people have posted, and then people say, well, where's that? Where do I get tickets? And then you see them kind of responding to themselves. So sometimes we'll get someone say, oh, that event will be no good because there's no guest signers. And we don't even have to reply, because someone from the community will reply and say, then it's a different sort of event for you. There's not guest signers, but oh my goodness, there's all this other stuff that makes it so much fun and so entertaining that, you don't need the guest signers actually. And I mean, we can't have guest signers. It's too expensive, and that other cons, we don't want to go down that route. Other cons can do that, and that's what they specialise in. And ours is more that immersion, that interactive feeling.
Yeah, it is what it is. And why would you try and sell some Chinese food in a pizza restaurant? It's just something completely different.
Yeah.
It's, again, going back to the comments that people make with comments like that. Obviously, the people should be making those comments. They've got questions about the con, and we want to be able to answer them as the organisers. We want to, give our official sort of standpoint on any issues. But what is really nice is when the previous visitors jump on those comments and kind of, not necessarily defend us, but they kind of say, but in a sense they do, but they positively say what is good about the show and why it is different to others. So it's awesome that so many people kind of are able to answer that as well, because hopefully that's a real testimonial as to, we're not just trying to sell a certain point. These are genuine visitors that have come to previous shows in the past and want to really get across how what one person might be saying is correct from their point of view, but actually it offers this, that and the other. And these are kind of legitimate responses from legitimate previous visitors. So it's really nice to have that support from the people that have come and continue. And
the fact that people keep coming back year after year.
The loyalty, they love it. It's absolutely unreal. I've seen so many familiar faces. I mean, a lot of them I don't know everyone's names, but I've become friends with some of the visitors that have come, because they come year on year, and you get to know them as other passionate fans of whatever the show is. So it really is lovely to see so many repeat visitors. And
we've had people celebrate their birthday there, that when we've caught wind of that, we've then made sure that their favourite character presents them with something. And I'm not saying we can do that for everybody, but we do try and go over and above to make it kind of like how you'd want to be treated and how you'd want to enjoy the day, and where we can do that and add that extra special element for people, then we always will try and do that. Yeah,
it's lovely. Cool. Is there anything that we haven't covered yet, or have we pretty much explained? Because you've got such a list there of stuff that's going on. There's just so much. But I guess if people want to find out more details, then the website's a good place to get started.
Yeah, website, Facebook page. We're running weekly competitions on our Facebook page to win tickets to the con. We've posted today, create your own comic book strip, which offers a prize to spend some money with one of the traders at the convention. So yeah, we just try and keep actively talking to people and hear what people are into, what their thoughts are. So you come up with some great competition ideas, don't you? But it's more to then kind of gauge people's opinions. There's no right or wrong
really
answer.
Yeah, the competitions that I try and put out for the weekly ticket giveaway isn't a knowledge-based question. It's very much an opinion-based question. It's sort of like what's your favourite or what movie you're looking forward to watching this year. If your answer agrees with what our answer is, then you could be in with a chance. And it's not really. again, not a knowledge that it can only be this answer or that answer. Again, it's hopefully to spark conversation. I genuinely love hearing what people are looking forward to watching, or what they don't like about this character or this character. Again, I love hearing about people's opinions about these different franchises. But yeah, the website and our socials, we're trying to stay as active as we can on socials and keep people updated with all the stuff that's still to be confirmed as well.
We're still working on things.
I mean, it's only a few
different ideas, and we're like, let's see if we can now incorporate that as well,
somehow.
because
but
that sounds fun.
All the information will be on those platforms.
And if anyone on the day has any questions, or if they feel overwhelmed and need a kind of a quiet space, we've got that available. But we have stuff on hand to help people accessibility and anything at all, really. We are there to make sure that people have the best day.
Amazing. So that's the Milton Keynes Film and Comicon, which is happening on the 12th of July from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Ridgeway Centre in Wolverton in Milton Keynes. Thank you very much, Jackie and Troy, for joining me today, and we're looking forward to seeing you very soon for the Comic Con.
Thanks so much, Chris. Thank you.